Hello Content Clubbers, how are you doing? Toby here with a very short video responding to the poll that we put out into the group, oh goodness, 2 weeks ago now, so I'm very sorry that this is late. We're going to be answering two questions which came through at the top of the poll, which is how to research your audience and how to promote your content better. So these got equal winnings in the poll, so I'm going to talk about both of these things. So let's jump straight in. How to research your audience better. There are three different ways of researching your audience. The first is to look at search intent. So you're looking at that sort of SEO-led way of discovering this stuff. So you've got to look at various tools and so on and try to understand what keywords and so on your audience are looking for. The second way is to do sort of old-fashioned market research, so that's sort of surveying your customer base, your prospects and so on to find out what they want. The third way, which is my super favorite way, which is much more human and people-centered, is to actually understand and put yourself in the shoes of your ideal or perfect customers. And the best way to do this is to literally remember or look back through or even just imagine a conversation that you've had with one of your favorite people that you like working with. So who are your best top customers and so on. Imagine yourself in a conversation with them and then start to imagine the questions that they want to ask you. So if anyone's done the content strategy course that we've done in Content Club, we've got some toolkits for this. I'll put a link to that stuff at the end of this video. Basically what we want to do is want to create a little basic persona of that person, usually someone that we really enjoy working with, and then we want to list around 5 questions that they will have for us that we're ideally and uniquely placed to answer. So have a think about what those 5 questions might be. Have a think about who that person is and make sure that it's based on a person that you know in real life and so on, and start building out your ideas for content from there. And that's not necessarily going to be the most data-led way of doing this, but it is the way that's going to be based on your experience and real human interaction, which is really important. And most importantly, it doesn't cost anything or take much time at all. You're not having to invest in tools, you're not having to spend days or weeks asking or trying to understand questions. This is an exercise you can do in 5 minutes on your own on an A4 piece of paper. Okay guys, that's how I recommend, in less than a minute pretty much, how to research your audience. The second question was how to promote your content better. So this comes down to something pretty simple. The main reason that we struggle to promote content or our content is because we don't give ourselves a great deal of time to do it, and we lack confidence in it too. The reason that we lack a lot of confidence in it is because we've already invested a huge amount of time ideating something, creating something, publishing it onto our platforms and so on, and then we just kind of hope that those platforms like Facebook and stuff will do the hard work for us because we've already done that big piece at the beginning and we're kind of bored and fed up of that piece of content. So we need to reinvent our thinking around that, and we actually need to think about how we ideate and plan our content, how we make and produce our content, and then how we promote our content as 3 equal things. We need to be able to plan our time and plan our efforts and energy around giving equal attention to those 3 things. So once you've figured out how to manage your week, your month, whatever, so that you can give a proportionate amount of time to promoting your content, the next thing you need to do is slim down the amount of channels and platforms that you're working with. So one of the biggest mistakes that we make when it comes to that particularly social media side of things is we force ourselves to spread ourselves too thin. So we're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, email newsletter. We're trying to do all of it because everybody says that it's really important to do all of those things. The truth is that if you put much more laser focus into one or two platforms, so for example, I really like LinkedIn, so I spend most of my promotional time on LinkedIn. I'm dabbling in YouTube, and obviously we've got this Facebook group as well. But for me, like, all of my real energy in terms of promoting content goes in on LinkedIn because that's where I know I can perform best and where my audience is going to engage best as well. So you need to do the same. You need to decide what are your 1 or 2 platforms that you're really going to zoom in on promotion. And then what you want to do is create promotional checklists. And again, this is a toolkit that we have in the content creation course that we do at Content Club. Again, I'll link at the end. A promotional checklist is really basic. It's 2 lists. A direct list and an indirect list. Direct is when you're taking content to them. So I'm sending you an email, I'm sending out an email newsletter, I'm doing this by even sending someone like a Facebook DM or something like that. I'm directly going to my audience and getting them to engage. Indirect, I'm posting onto a feed or a channel and hoping and expecting people that come and engage with that. write down 3 things that you're going to do on each of your platforms for every piece of content you create. So I'm going to send out every blog post that I've created in an emails newsletter. I'm going to send it to 10, 15 people that I think would like to read it as a LinkedIn direct message or something like that. And I'm going to post it on Facebook 3 times a week for the first week. I'm going to post it on LinkedIn 3 times a week for the first week, something like that. And if you can create that really simple checklist approach to promoting your content and slim down the amount of work that you need to do in order to do it, and change your mindset around making sure you give equal amount of time and effort to planning, promoting and producing, you're on fire. Okay guys, I hope that was a useful video. We talked about researching ideas and your audience, and just imagine who they are, write down 5 questions that they have. We've talked about promoting your content better, get your promotional checklists going and slim down the amount of platforms you're using. All right guys, great to see you. Thank you for being so patient and waiting for this video, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching this video. Very quickly, I mentioned a few tools and resources in the video. If you go to learn.cc.works, you can access the entire content creator framework for free. Just pop your email address in, and there's something like 13, 14 videos there, 10 activities with all these worksheets and things, and you can just use that as you please. The second thing is hopefully you've already heard, but we launched a piece of software about a month and a half ago called Poster. If you head over to poster.works, you can have a look at that. It's a content repurposing tool, so basically you can put blog content in, press a button, and it spits out ideas for social media content. It's very cool, very automated, verging on the edges of leveraging AI for content creation as well, which is where it's really going in the future. I'd love it if you could check it out. At the moment, we're just saying £17 a month to get started. I'm testing out the tools, testing out the pricing, testing out your feedback and so on. I would love for you to try it out. Okay guys, thank you so much. See you soon.